back for more ancient history jewelry stories. A few videos back I talked about the role of jewelry in ancient Rome and how women used it as a means of communicating their status to other women in their community. Today we're going to touch on how ancient Greece had similar ideas about jewelry, although there seems to have been less of a militaristic aspect to it. Much like in ancient Rome, jewelry was worn to signify wealth and social standing. Jewelry seems to have been worn by people from all walks of life in ancient Greece. So anything from this kind of jewelry to something really extravagant and finely crafted, which would have only been worn by people of the upper class. Something like these. I make sure to pay these a visit every time I go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's a pair of armbands bearing the figures of a male and female triton, who were similar to mermaids in ancient Greek mythology, but closer to demigods of the sea. Each of the tritons is holding a tiny winged Eros, although you might be more familiar with his Roman name, Cupid. Cupid was often shown in association with the goddess of love, Aphrodite, and it's believed these bracelets were made to celebrate Aphrodite's birth. These armbands weren't intended to be worn on the wrist like standard bracelets. These were meant to be worn on the upper arm. And if you look closely at the tops of each, you'll notice a pair of loops where they would have been attached to the sleeves of a garment. Although I don't know for sure what techniques were used to craft these, I can take a guess. And having seen these in person, it does look to me like these are made using a combination of chasing and repoussé technique. Repoussé is a technique where a sheet of metal is hammered from the back to create a design in low relief, while chasing is engraving the surface to shape and create more detail.